everyone, and thank you for watching this edition of Gay Report. I'm Marlena Coelho-Sousae. The U.S. Supreme Court invalidated anti-sodomy laws in 2003, but a local Louisiana sheriff says that he didn't get the memo. The East Baton Rouge sheriff, who used Louisiana's defunct anti-sodomy law to arrest a dozen gay men since 2011, now says he didn't know the law was invalidated by the Supreme Court. A statement from the sheriff's office claims that, quote, "To our knowledge, the sheriff's office was never contacted or told that the law was not enforceable or prosecutable." It was issued Sunday after the Advocate newspaper in Louisiana exposed the illegal undercover sting operation. According to the newspaper's report, undercover officers picked up gay men at a local park and lured them back to the privacy of their apartments. Then they were arrested when it was presumed they'd be having sex. No money was exchanged, which would have made it illegal. But otherwise, the local district attorney refused to prosecute, saying there's nothing illegal about what happened. According to local LGBT rights group Capital City Alliance, the sheriff has committed to no longer enforcing the obsolete law and will work with state legislatures to have it removed from the books. Salon.com recently noted that some 22 states will have a version of the anti-sodomy laws on the books, 13 of which specifically target same-sex couples. The Virginian Republican candidate for governor, Ken Cucciolini, sued to keep the law intact while serving as the state's attorney general. And the San Diego Gay Pride Parade and Festival, which took place at Hillcrest, a notoriously LGBTQ-friendly neighborhood, on the weekend of July 12th, appeared to be a success, bringing in more than 200,000 spectators carrying rainbow flags and wearing brightly colored outfits to show their support of the LGBTQ community. The parade began its 1.5-mile route at Pride Flag Monument at Normal Street and University Avenue. Singer-songwriter LaToya Jackson, George Takei of Star Trek, and his husband Brad were grand marshals. Event officials said George and Brad Takei were chosen for their advocacy for same-sex marriage, anti-bullying efforts, and equality. Jackson was picked for her efforts in continuing her late brother Michael's mission to combat HIV and AIDS. Now here's a look at your local weather. Russia's intensifying campaign against gay rights activism and its newly approved anti-gay legislation has sparked widespread LGBTQ fury, as many gay bars across North America and their owners have joined a campaign to stop selling Russian vodka, notably the popular brand Stolichnaya. According to many LGBTQ sources, as well as the CEO of Stoli Vodka, the brand has been extremely supportive of the gay community, sponsoring gay pride events in San Diego, LA, and San Francisco. Some members of the LGBT community say that it is unfortunate that this loyal supporter has been caught in the crossfire of the recent Russian anti-gay policies. Besides protesting vodka, activists are also pressing the International Olympic Committee and NBC, which holds U.S. broadcasting rights for Sochi Olympics, to be more aggressive in criticizing new Russian laws. The main catalyst is a law signed by President Vladimir Putin last month that bans the propaganda of non-traditional sexual relations and imposes hefty fines for providing information about the gay community to minors or holding gay pride rallies. There is also significant concern about a long-standing problem of violence against gays in Russia, as well as a new law restricting adoptions of Russian children by people in countries allowing same-sex marriage. These new laws received overwhelming support, reflecting the homophobic ideology that is widely shared across the political spectrum in Russia. The IOC, International Olympic Committee, has claimed that as long as the Russian government will not extend its current legislation towards those attending or participating in the Olympics, they will be holding the Games in Russia. However, the Human Rights Campaign sees IOC's approach as extremely passive. As HRC President Chad Griffin states, quote, "They should be advocating for the safety of all LGBTQ people in Russia, not simply those visiting for the Olympics. Rescinding this heinous law must be our collective goal." The former U.S. intelligence officer Bradley Manning was acquitted Tuesday of the charge aiding the enemy, though he could still serve up to 125 years in prison for espionage, according to the Advocate. The 25-year-old Manning, who identifies as gay and possibly transgender, was convicted of violating military code, including failing to obey an order or regulation, according to NBC. The young man, who was in the nation's hot seat when he released thousands of classified government documents to WikiLeaks, was acquitted of one aiding the enemy, the most serious charge against him that potentially carried a life sentence. He instead was convicted of 5 counts of espionage, 5 theft charges, a computer fraud charge, and other military infractions. In 2010, as an Army intelligence officer, Manning released some 700,000 government documents and diplomatic cables that exposed widespread military and diplomatic injustices to the website WikiLeaks, one of them being a video that showed a U.S. helicopter crew laughing as they carried out an airstrike that killed a dozen people, including a photographer and driver working for Reuters news agency in Baghdad 2007. Military officials and prosecutors argued that Manning had general evil intent because he knew the classified material would be seen and help terrorists, and that Manning simply wanted to make a name for himself. On the other hand, defense attorneys portrayed Manning as a whistleblower who was naive but ultimately had good intentions. Many legal analysts said earlier that a conviction of Manning would mark a new precedent in prosecutions of U.S. secret leakers because the Army private never actually shared the information directly to an enemy of the U.S., according to CBS. Manning supporters worry that this new turn in leak prosecutions will have a disturbing effect on other potential watchdogs who seek to alert the public regarding government wrongdoing. Well, that's it for this edition of Gay Report. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Marlena Coelho-Sousae.